Okay, here we go. I should be live now. Calling up a screen to get a confirmation on that. Put my headset on. Screen to get a confirmation on that. Put my headset on. Through. Confirmation on that. Put my head. Multiple echoes going on, and that shows and I've got buffering. What is going on there? What is going on there? Looks like it's back to functional now. Tony says AV. I guess that's computerese for AV is good. And he says DVR is good. Thank you, Tony. All right. July 15th, 2022, 9:01 a.m. Good morning, everybody, on a Friday morning. The title of this, no, I still got my Stream Deck set for my Fortnite streaming buttons. The title today, Windows Daily number 15, AutoRuns64 from Sysinternals. And I'll go switch over to the Microsoft Word document. Come up here to the beginning of the black text. The green text above that is stuff that I've already reviewed. From yesterday's live stream, it was called More Sysinternals from chap Chris McGraw. I miss the old days when Windows 98 could install over existing Windows 98, install, repair it, and not lose anything. You can still do that, Chris. You can install on top of an existing Windows 10 installation, create your installation media, and have it plugged in. If it's on a USB stick, have it plugged in and launch it from your booted Windows. Now, the catch is if you can't boot to Windows, then it becomes a little more complicated. But if you can boot to your existing Windows, you can install from USB or just from the download for Microsoft and do a install on top of the existing installation, and you won't lose any programs or data. Talking of CPU speed, I'm going to have to install Windows because the AMD power profile, changing to balance profile, it goes to as low as 20 megahertz. You should be able to change the power profile without reinstalling. You can go into the details, advanced settings, I think it's called, of the power profile. Oh, I should just show it, right? If I do the Windows key and then power and power space ampersand, that gets me to the search setting, and then over here to additional power settings. And then here, whatever plan you have, if you're on balanced or whichever plan you're on, you can click on change plan settings. It doesn't matter what it was called. You can come in to change advanced power settings and change your all of your power related settings and sleep related settings in here. Here's processor power management, maximum processor state, minimum processor state. So you should be able to do that without reinstalling. Then it idles at 200 megahertz as high as 4.36. And Iowa Hank pointed out the same thing, that you shouldn't have to reinstall Windows in order to do that. Then Parker Morris, hey Doug, I thought so. Oh, you know what? Sausage rolls. I asked him in the live chat, what were you referring to with sausage rolls? I don't understand that comment. Let's move to nope. Hitting these wrong. Come on, pop out chat and see if he replied to that. What did you mean, Parker Morris? After that? Nope, he didn't clarify. So moving on. I thought sausage rolls were interesting. I'm referring to something from yesterday's video, I guess. On my Gmail app, I have what they refer to as mobile signature. My question now is, when I go to insert signature on Gmail, it's not transferring to my Gmail. It's hosted in a walk, and signature that I set up isn't showing either. So I think what he's after here is that when I talked about creating a signature in Microsoft Outlook, that will not become available in the web version of your Gmail or on your phone. Those are all separate from each other. My response here, the way I typed it: a signature configured in Outlook will not be available in web, Gmail, or mobile device. It's only available in Outlook. Try this. I did do this search. Try a Google search for Chrome extension for Gmail signature. And there is one extension that seems more prominent than any others. It would be an extension added to your Google Chrome browser for doing Gmail signatures. That might be of interest to you. Lawn Dog. By the way, the other day, my comment about the colors in Sysinternals, I guess I should have really applied to AutoRuns program. That's my go-to #1 program to reveal, as you know, programs running many times to get control of a machine. I use this to disable malware or anything funky going on. When you get around to explaining this program, by the way, that's today, hinted by the title of today's video, maybe we can discuss what the colors mean, especially pink. Unlike the tool you shown in this video, they're not selectable by the user. That is true, and I will show the answer to that today. BH Ringer from email says, I remember watching a video where Mark related the story about Zoom It being one of the tools he used the most. I think I actually referred to that yesterday, and yes, he did refer to that as a tool that he uses the most. Well, and particularly now, because he's CTO of Microsoft Azure, he's not doing a lot of malware hunting work, I imagine. He recently worked at including the screen recording as part of the program. Not sure when it will be released. I went and looked at this. This was a tweet that he did, and I have it up here on this tab. So this was a tweet from Mark Rusinovich saying that recording is now included in Zoom It, but I didn't find it in the version that I have. So I don't know if it's there yet, and I'm gonna paste that link into chat in case anybody wants to go see it. That's Mark's tweet on the subject. And then the other thing that came from BH Ringer is that he's quite an artist. And I did not know this, or I don't recall coming across this information before. So here I have the website open showing his artwork. And I'll paste that also into chat if anyone wants to go check that out. And then let's go look at AutoRuns. Let's see, I have it open. I'm actually going to close AutoRuns and I'm going to launch it. So here's my Sysinternals folder. Let's maximize that. I'm specifically going to point out that I'm launching it without doing a right click and then run as administrator. I'm just going to double click on it and demonstrate what happens if you don't run it as administrator. It's not a huge deal. And then we'll get into the colors, and then we'll go look at some other stuff. So on this Everything tab, this has everything that's a combination of all these other tabs. And we'll get into what's on those other tabs in a little bit. If I come down here, let's say to Adobe Acrobat Synchronizer, and let's suppose I want to deactivate it, I can click on that check mark and that'll deactivate it. Next time I restart the computer, it will not launch. But watch what happens if I come down here and try to uncheck this one. I get a message, AutoRuns access denied, enabling disable may require admin access. And I can click right here to run as admin. Well, the reason for that is that this item up here is in the registry key. It's called HKCU. That stands for Hive Key Current User. Who's the user? Well, I'm the user. And it's in a folder called Microsoft Windows Current Version Run. So this is something that runs every time we start the computer and log in as me. But this registry key down here is HKey Local Machine. So changes in this section is going to apply to every user that uses this machine. So if I remove that check mark, AutoRun says, wait a minute, you got to run this as administrator to do that, even though I'm logged in to the computer with an administrator account. Now I can just click on this button right here and it will relaunch the program as administrator or in administrator mode. So now I can remove that check mark and it stays removed. Now I'm not actually going to leave that unselected because I'm not intending to unselect things now. So now let's give a high level, well, let's go deal with the colors. The colors, let's go down here and find some colors. There's yellow. And then let's go find pink. There's some pinks. What are these? Well, if you go looking through the menus or if you go do a Google search, you're not going, I don't think you're going to find any description about the colors. And that's because I presume that Mark thought this was fairly self-explanatory. If you come over here in the yellow, it says file not found. That's what all of the yellows are, is their file not found. The pink ones are all not verified. So if you look at the item that's showing up in color, it appears to have been Mark's intention to make it self-evident what that color means. All I have in terms of colors right now is the yellow and the pink. These purples is just the first item within a section. So that's, well, actually it's a section heading. So let's look at those section headings. So this is current version run, and if I go to this first tab, we're going to find those same first headings. Run, alternate shell, components, current version, installed components. So these 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 items, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items. And then we get this gray heading because that's another tab. So under Explorer, we're expecting to see these purple items, right? So there's the Login tab, the Explorer tab, we see all these purple items. So on this Everything tab, all the Explorer items are in here. And then we get a gray title for Internet Explorer. Well, that's the next tab. Yeah, it's called Internet Explorer. Get over it. Yeah, this is the days. Internet Explorer is gone, but it still shows up here. Okay, I'm not going to try to justify that any further. Next one is scheduled tasks. So next one down here is scheduled tasks. So that's how this correlates, is the Everything tab has, well, everything. Then all these other tabs are the individual sections. So if you're wanting to go look specifically at drivers, you can just go straight here to the drivers tab instead of scrolling down to find drivers. That's all it is. Don't try to make it more complicated than that. That's all it is. These items that have this kind of Rubik's Cube type looking thing, which that icon came up, I think, before Rubik's Cube was a thing. It's not really Tetris, is it? But anyway, those are all registry items. Down here for Explorer, so Explorer is File Explorer, right? But there are registry entries related to File Explorer. And if you keep going down, you'll get some other things. Now here's Task Scheduler. All these things are in Task Schedulers where they are controlled from. Now, if you want to go to the detail, let's say Adobe Acrobat Update Task. Well, give me some more specifics about that. We can right-click on it and jump to Entry. And that's going to take you to the place within the native application that controls that auto run item. And it takes us right into that Adobe Acrobat item. Same idea with the registry items. If I come back up here to my first example, Adobe Acrobat Synchronizer, where is that in the registry? You can right click, jump to Entry, and it goes right to that item in the registry. On that right click menu, let's take a look at the next one, jump to Image. That's going to take you to the file that is associated with that item. There are some cases in these items, and I don't think I know which one offhand, where when you right click and go jump to Entry or jump to Image, it takes you to the same thing because it actually is a file. Now let's see, what is the last gray item down here? The last gray heading is Office, which is up here on the second row. So this Everything tab goes across these tabs one by one all the way through to the Microsoft Office items. If you are trying to find something that you're suspicious or something amiss with your computer, then you may want to go hide Microsoft entries. So if you click on that, it's going to hide everything that is specifically Microsoft. And let's see, I'll turn that back on. Another thing interesting here is Microsoft, not virus, I didn't want to hide yet. I want to go look at, here, check virus total. Notice this column out here for virus total. There's nothing in that column right now. Well, you have to tell it to go check virus total. It's been a while since I've done that, but I think it's going to take a while to accomplish that. Virus total is a website service that checks files or registry entries, everything that's in here, against a whole slew of different antivirus products. And it will give you a report of how many of them find that there's a problem with that. Now, once you do that, you're going to find some more color-coded items and look at the detail of those color-coded items to see what they are telling you about it. Let's see, anything else on that? Well, of course, search online, but that's even available in Task Manager. to search online. It's going to give you a very specific search to do a good job of finding that item. Let me come back to, save. You can save your auto runs on any particular date. I did a save yesterday. So if I come here to open, here's the save that I did yesterday. I could compare the current auto runs to the way my computer was days ago or weeks ago to figure out what the differences are. Now, I suspect that'll take a while. I haven't actually tried it, so I'm not going to try to do that during a live stream because, yeah, we know what happens when I try to do things that I haven't tested during a live stream. Of course, there's find. You can search for something that you're looking for. Now, something that I found interesting, if I bring up Task Manager and come to the Startup tab, and then I have them sorted by the status column right now, so I can easily see these two items that I have disabled, Spotify and Skype. So I thought, I want to go see where that is. So I came in and I did a search for Spotify, and I was surprised to see that AutoRuns does not have it. It doesn't show up in AutoRuns. I suspect that if I re-enable it and reboot the computer, that then AutoRuns would show up. But I was surprised to find that when things are disabled in Task Manager, they're not going to show up in AutoRuns. What do we do next? This doesn't take a whole lot of time to go through this as far as the high level what to deal with this. Hide empty locations. Let's remove that check mark and see if I get some more colored items. Empty locations. I just told it not to hide empty locations. And there's me doing another thing where I haven't tested. So no, and where was that? There does seem to be a change to the screen. Hide empty locations. Yeah, I'm not going to try to figure that out now live. That's silliness. I don't think it would take too much time to figure it out, but I'm not going to do that now. Categories. So this is also the different tabs. If you click on one of these, that'll take you just straight to that tab. No big deal. There's help and about. Is there anything else here? Scan options. Verify code signatures. Verify code signatures is these items here shows all these are verified. This one right here in pink, it says not verified. So it's already telling us that one's not verified. I don't know if, here's something else. User. I'm signed on right now with user Doug. Since I do have auto runs in administrator mode right now, I could check the other users that are configured on this computer. So what happens when I do that is I would expect, let's get back to the top of everything here where we see HKey current user. See, here's the HKey current user. So this section here, we might find it change when I switch to a different user. Let's see. Yeah, see how much that changed? There's only one item there, but this local machine section should remain the same, because all the users would have the same local machine registry elements, but they would have different current user registry elements. And when you actually go look at the native registry, there's a section called current user, and there's also individual sections for each user, but they don't display by name, they display by a really long user ID number. Is there anything else in here that I need to point out? No, I don't think so. That's kind of it. Oh, analyze offline system. So you could have a hard drive attached to your computer that's not booted and analyze the file system on that computer, because it'll pull up all of the registry, all of the users, and so on. I think you might have to authenticate to it. I haven't tried doing that. All right, I think that covers it well enough. I'll go take a look at chat room. That's there just to see if there's anything else going on. There's what I pasted. There's some more chat comments and 919. So I'm going to read through that later, and I'll respond to comments that are in there in Monday's video. For tomorrow's live stream at 11 a.m. Pacific time, I've got a couple of things in mind. We might deal a little bit with this laptop that we dealt with before. This is a computer that had keyboard and mouse lockups that seem to be related to the graphics card. I pulled it out, tinkering with it a little bit more. We'll have a laptop unboxing here. I'm not going to tell you what kind of computer it is because some of you will boycott tomorrow's live stream if you know ahead of time what kind of computer that is. That's not going to be a major part of the live stream. So once you find out what that is, if you decide you're not interested, stay with the live stream. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time with it. Some of you will be interested and curious, and I think I'm going to tell you some things about that laptop that might be a little bit redeeming to you. So that was a little bit of a clickbaity thing. And there was something else that I thought I was going to do. Well, I don't remember what it was. So I hope to see you around for that. The Zoom session will be open as usual. And that's all for today. I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.